Everybody, welcome back. Thanks for joining us again. Today we're going to be doing a quick video on shoulder immobilizers. There are two main two main styles of shoulder immobilizers that are usually found in the workplace. The first one being the standard shoulder immobilizer that comes with a shoulder strap as well as a waist strap, which we will demonstrate here in a moment. Very, very common, very easy to use, very easy to apply, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. And the second is a version of the cuff and collar. This particular one would actually be more adequately described as a cuff and cuff, one going around the cuffing the humerus and the other one cuffing the wrist, and of course the belt, the torso belt going around the torso, which we're going to talk about this one as well. Both are very, very easy to apply and very common. So we're going to go ahead and apply the first one now. I'm going to bring a patient in real quick. You want to come on in, and there you go. You can go ahead and stand right here in frame. And we're going to go ahead and apply this. The idea when applying a shoulder immobilizer is that you're trying to keep them from elevating or abducting out. So you want to try to decrease this motion here. Also too, these two braces are also used frequently for clavicle fractures as well. So here we go. I will go ahead and unfasten both belts first. So we start from scratch, and we will go ahead and start with the actual sling portion of the apparatus. If I can go ahead and borrow your left arm and go ahead and slide your hand in and make sure your elbow is in the pocket of the sling. If I may ask, with your other hand, if you could hold the two rings so that I can go ahead and face there. So what you see is we have the sling applied. We do not have a wrist drop, so it goes to the actual metacarpal base before it hits the phalanges, which is what you want. It's kind of textbook, if you will. And then we're gonna talk about the waist strap here in a moment. But let's go ahead and finish with the shoulder strap, which we all know. We'll come around, we'll bring it in. Thank you. In this particular strap, it has Velcro, which is kind of the main thing these days. And which, as she's facing the camera, go ahead and turn this way and go ahead and chin up for me. As you're facing them, as you're looking at the patient, you want either the patient or for the parents, you want the affected side to look like the letter L. You don't really need the hand way up here, and you definitely don't want it to drop down. So in this particular case, we're going to come right to about there, and we're going to go ahead and Velcro there. This will take care of the actual sling portion of the actual apparatus. We're going to go ahead and bring the belt, the waist belt, around the waist, and go ahead and scoot over a little bit so they can see. Keep going. Right there's perfect. And then what we're going to do is we're going to affix this to the lower ring, just like so, and it's going to be just like a belt, just like that. Again, you don't want either one of them too tight. You want to be able to get a couple fingers inside. Now, the idea here, wearing this sling with the torso waist belt, is that, again, you're going to try to decrease the motion. Go ahead and try to swing out. There you go, and try to lift up. And that's the idea. You're going to try to decrease that motion. This is the typical shoulder immobilizer sling, if you will. And then I'll go ahead and demonstrate the other one. Thank you, sir. And thank you. We'll go ahead and remove this. Put that to the side. Now again, there are many versions of the one that I'm going to apply here. This is basically two cuffs, one for the humerus and one for the wrist. And I'll show you some tricks with this. Another version of this would be what's called a cuff and collar. And the cuff and collar would have the wrist cuff, and it would have a sling that would go over the good side, the opposing side. So when you hear that term cuff and collar, this is a variation of the cuff and collar. Again, a more accurate description would be a cuff and cuff on this one. So the best way to start with this, since we're going to be doing the same arm, the left arm, let's go ahead and place it to where the cuff that is actually horizontal is meant for the humerus. So that's going to be in that particular area there. And then the cuff that is vertical will be for the wrist. So we're going to go ahead and have you lift your arm for a second. There you go. We're going to bring it around. And again, this one has Velcro. I'm going to bring it up right about the nipple line. You can, depending on the torso of the patient, you want to either do the nipple line or just below. You're going to bring it in and you're going to Velcro it. Just moderately tight, doesn't have to be super tight. You want to be able to get your fingers in there. And then we're, in his particular case, we're going to swing this over. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of swing it over this way. So you want that cuff that's going to be addressing the humerus, you want it almost in the axillary space. Just frontal of the axillary space. And you're going to go ahead and bring the cuff around the humerus. And it's pretty easy, it's Velcro. You just put it on there nice and snug. And then you have them bring their wrist up, just like so. And the same thing. You bring the Velcro around, have them come in. Now this has some play in it on purpose to allow the wrist to come down a little bit. So you don't necessarily have to be way up here. You can actually let it drop down a little bit and you Velcro it. And again, as you're looking at them head on, have them stand straight up for me. There you go. Again, it looks like the letter L. Go ahead and try to lift. There you go. And try to swing out. And there you go. Again, another version of a shoulder immobilizer, or in this particular case, let's say we're treating for a clavicle fracture. This will decrease the movement and hopefully increase the healing time, speed up the healing time. So again, a variation of the cuff and collar, we'll call this a cuff and cuff. And again, the black one we used, the sling with the waist strap. These are both two different types of shoulder immobilizers, or can be used for the treatment of a clavicle fracture. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you at the next video.